Greetings, my friends, and welcome to this weekend's Global Home Church Sermon. I'm a Christian. I'm a Bible-believing, King James Version Bible-believing, following, eating, breathing, sleeping, drinking. That's my whole life is God's Word. The King James Version Bible is the Bible that I choose because it's the most complete version of God's Word, unless you have an original Greek or Hebrew transcript and can read it. And actually you need both because you need the Old and New Testament both. So I follow God's laws over man's laws. I still follow man's laws because God tells us to, but he also tells us that if man's laws are against his laws, then his laws supersede man's laws. And I agree with that 100%. I will not follow a law by any man, that makes me go against God's word. It's my right as a Christian. It's how I believe. It's how I act. It's what I'm all about. So, this is puzzling. A new speech before the world leaders at the World Economic Forum, by the way, the biggest conglomeration of global leaders you can find, said God's Bible rules no longer apply and should no longer be accepted, and that people should be punished for following God's laws. Totally against what I believe. I would never, ever, ever go for that nonsense. Let's go to Genesis chapter 9. King James Version Bible. Let's start at verse 1 through 3. And God blessed Noah and his sons, and said unto them, Be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hand are they delivered. In other words, they're there for you to eat. Verse 3. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you, even as the green herb, or the crops that grow out in the fields, have I given you all things. That's what God's word says. Now let's hear what's said at the World Economic Forum, where they're calling growing food on a farm and fishing, commercial fishing to feed people, or fishing to feed your family at the table, they're calling it ECOCIDE. Okay? ECOCIDE. ECOCIDE was a term coined to recognize environmental destruction as an act of war. Okay, they're saying it's an act of war to farm and fish now. Are you getting this? Are you absorbing this? So one of the big wheels from the EU made headlines after in alternative news. Again, it wasn't on the main news. They're trying to keep it hush-hush. At the World Economic Forum just recently, just happened, at the summit in Davos, Switzerland, this person stated that ECOCIDE, which is farming and includes farming and fishing, needs to become a punishable offense, including farming and fishing. Now, so let's just think about this for a minute. And you know, if you don't know, I'll tell you, really rich people around the whole world in every country have been buying up massive, massive, massive amounts of farmland, and farmers no longer farm it. So what's going to happen when farmers can't grow crops? You go to the store, you can't get canned vegetables. You can't get fresh vegetables. You can't get any kind of fruits and vegetables, okay? Then you can't get fish to eat, which so many countries depend on that. They already want you to stop eating meat. They want you to, there's been so many endless numbers of cattle being culled around the world, because they say that the cow's flatulence affects the atmosphere, they say, affects the environment, and they want cow meat to be gone. They want to grow stuff in the lab. There's been insect farms that have been brought up all around the world and are running and fully functional. What they're saying is they'd like to see people eat insects, okay? Eat insects and just live off of that, or off of lab-grown meat, lab-grown whatever else is grown in the lab that you have no idea what it is. So they're going totally against God's word, and they're saying that God's word is persona non grata, is null and void, that it's just old news, it's old hat. Well, I got some news for everybody. It's not old news for me. I will always follow God's word. I'll always respect it. I'll always live it and breathe it. And I will until the very end, until I take my last breath. It's how I live. It's how I roll. I'm flabbergasted. It's hard to flabbergast me too. I've seen so many things in my life and been involved in so many tragic things in my life that it's hard to see anything anymore that just flabbergasts me. This flabbergasted me. This is just, it takes the cake. And to be brought before such a huge global end times related group as the WEF, the World Economic Forum, is just icing on the cake. And believe me, this is not, the people who heard this message believe the same thing. They're trying to get people to stop living like you've always lived, eating like you've always eaten. They want to bring you into their own world. And after the imminent rapture and the tribulation begins, I'm convinced this is going to become mainstream, and people are going to be eating bugs. People are going to be eating stuff grown in a lab somewhere. I believe it will be outlawed and criminally punished to grow food and to try to fish and try to do that kind of stuff and try to hunt for food, not hunt for sport, hunt for food. It's just amazing to me how fast the world is just falling down the rabbit hole. People can't see what's going on. They can't comprehend what's right in front of them, what's getting ready to snatch them. I can. That's why I'm telling you. And it just baffles me that people just accept this and ignore it. It's even worse. And accept it as just as bad. My friends, Jesus Christ is all of our only hopes. He's about to snatch his bride away very soon. Those who are left behind will be here for 70 years of hell on earth, where if God didn't intervene, no flesh remain alive as it is. Billions will die the most grotesque, awful, perfect deaths imaginable to man. Read the book of Revelation. It's all in there. It tells you everything's going to happen. Really, really bad stuff. People need to understand Jesus Christ is our only hope, and get right with him now before time runs out. If you've never been saved, you're backslidden, pray the prayer, do the 6 steps in the box below the video. No one's guaranteed more time in your life. If you'd like prayer, contact me. I pray for you every day. Love you with all my heart, and look up true Christians. Our redemption draweth nigh. Be fly soon. May God bless you. Share this video. Can't wait to meet you in heaven. And I'll see you soon with another video, Lord willing, if I'm not incapacitated, if I'm not dead, or we're not raptured. Take care. May God bless you. I love you. And please share. Please wake up. Time is short.